What's good, everybody? I'm Johnny Danger, and today I'm going to be ranking the 12 Van Halen studio albums. As the story goes, I was 8 years old. I was tagging along with my sister and her friend, headed to the mall, and hopped in her car, and I saw on the console the cassette cover of a baby angel smoking a pack of cigarettes, and I asked, "What is that?" And she popped it in, and I heard Panama for the first time, and I was obsessed. I started begging my parents for a guitar. I finally got one when I was 12 years old, and the rest is rock and roll history. So let's get right into it. Like I said, Van Halen has 12 studio albums, and got to start at the bottom and work our way up. So at number 12, Van Halen 3. I don't know where Eddie's head was at during the process of making this album, but they had just fired Sammy Hagar, and they decided to bring on Gary Cherone from the band Extreme. And boy, does this album miss the mark entirely. I don't know what the target was, but whatever it was, it missed. I don't have much else to say about this record. It's hard to listen to. So moving right along, number 11 from 1995, Balance. Again, not a lot to say about this record. Amsterdam is pretty cool. Other than that, not a lot of memorable moments for me on this one. So yeah, Balance, number 11. And number 10 from 1986, 5150. Very poppy, very synth, very keyboard heavy record. Van Halen, Eddie specifically, was clearly headed in a different direction, wanted more control over the songwriting, and really was butting heads with David Lee Roth, and they parted ways, and this was the result. It did very well on the charts and sold a lot of records, but this album really doesn't turn me on at all. So it sits at number 10. Number 9 from 1988, OU812. I actually like this record quite a bit. Black and Blue is a really sexy, swagger-filled type of rock and roll song. Finish What You Started and When It's Love. Sappy maybe, but I love them. I think they're great songs, and I actually dig this record quite a bit. Number 8 from 2012, their reunion with David Lee Roth, A Different Kind of Truth. Pretty cool comeback. Didn't really expect this one. Big, heavy production, very rock and roll. Yeah, I kind of like this one. It's sneaky good. So check that one out if you haven't already. Number 7, For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge from 1991. This album was a juggernaut on the charts, especially with their hit single, Right Now. The video was in heavy rotation at MTV. Really cool sound with the bass and the drums, especially great production. Eddie went heavy into the stereo chorus guitar sound, which I'm not a huge fan of, but the playing is awesome. Number 6 from 1982, Diver Down. I know this album gets a lot of shit from the fans for having a ton of covers on it, and some say it's a mailed-in effort by the band, but there are some great moments. I like how the album opens with the Kinks cover of Where Have All the Good Times Gone. Little Guitars is a great song, and Oh Pretty Woman is one of the best covers you'll ever hear of a pop song. So yeah, Diver Down at number 6. At number 5, from 1980, Women and Children First. Very cool record. Take Your Whiskey Home, Fools, Everybody Wants Some. It's still in that sort of party vein, Van Halen, and their third effort there, but getting a little bit more complex and serious in the song arrangement and structure. So really cool album. If you haven't heard that one in a while, go back and give it a listen. Number 4 from 1981, Fair Warning. Unchained and Hear About It Later are two of my favorite Van Halen songs of all time. This album is just chock full of goodies for guitar nerds like me. So number 3, our top 3. Going to go with 1978's debut record, Van Halen. This one is impeccable. Eruption, Jamie's Crying, Atomic Punk, Ain't Talking About Love. It's a classic. It's one of the greatest debuts in the history of recorded music. And it speaks for itself. Number 2, 1984. This album sold 10 million copies in the US alone. Changed my life forever. I mean, the hits, Panama, Hot for Teacher, Jump, obviously. But I'll Wait, Girl Gone Bad, House of Pain. Just an incredible display of musicianship and just songwriting, and only came in second to Michael Jackson's Thriller on the Billboard charts. So if you're going to come in second, it might as well be to the greatest selling album of all time. And in my number 1 spot, Van Halen 2 from 1979, Out of Love Again, Light Up the Sky, Somebody Get Me a Doctor, Women in Love, Beautiful Girls. Whenever I need a pick-me-up or just want to be in a good mood, automatically this record does it. And I listen to it fairly often even now. And there you have it. My Van Halen studio albums ranked from 12 to 1. For the recap, at number 12, Van Halen 3. At 11, Balance. At 10, 5150. At 9, OU812. At 8, A Different Kind of Truth. At 7, For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge. At 6, Diver Down. At 5, Women and Children First. At 4, Fair Warning. At 3, Van Halen. At 2, 1984. And in my number 1 spot, Van Halen 2. Thanks for watching, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Cheers.